Good morning, grade ones. How are you all doing today? So today is, what is it today? Let's look do our calendar quickly and find out. So today is Monday. What's the month? Don't say January. It's not January. It's not winter. Today is Monday, June. What number is this? The 8th. And what's our year? 2020, or we can also say 2020. So today is Monday, June the 8th, 2020. So if today is Monday, what day was yesterday? Tell me. Starts with an S. Sunday. So yesterday was Sunday, June the 7th. I hope you guys all had a great Sunday. So today is Monday, June the 8th. And what will tomorrow be? So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So tomorrow will be Tuesday, June the 9th, 2020. Okay, so make sure I want you to know what day it is this week. So if it's tomorrow, I want you to know that it's June the 9th. If you are on Wednesday, I want you to know that it's Wednesday, June the 10th. Okay, so make sure to do that. So on Friday, we were at school for 167 days. So what comes after 167? Don't let the 100 fool you. What comes after 67? Say that again. That's right. So it's 168 days. How many ones in 168? Tells you right there. So remember, look at this column. There's 8 ones, 6 groups of 10, and 100 makes 168 days. So remember, keep track of how many days we're at school because Mrs. Clark might make a mistake. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake today. I don't think I did. All right, so today or this week, we are going to review graphs. Okay, so we have talked about graphs in our classroom and we've gone around and asked questions and made our own graphs. This week, we're going to review graphs. So we're going to do one together. So here, this graph is called garden flowers. So what I did is I went to my garden and I counted how many daisies I had in my garden, how many tulips I had in my garden, and how many sunflowers I had in my garden. So graphs always have a title. So my title is Garden Flowers. I counted daisies, tulips, and sunflowers. And on the vertical side there is the numbers. So remember, you always have to start at 0. Okay, so you can't start 1, start at 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And this particular graph is called a what graph? It looks like what? Starts with a B. It's a bar graph. So this is a bar graph. We've also talked about pictographs and pie graphs, but this is called a bar graph. So in this graph, I have graphed the amount of flowers in my garden. So let's take a look at it. All right. So daisies, tulips, and sunflowers. So how many daisies do I have in my garden? How many daisies? So remember what you do. You can count the bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or else you can go all the way to the top until the coloring stops and go to the side and it hits the number 6. So I have 6 daisies. How many tulips? Tell me how many tulips I have. Good, 3. And how many sunflowers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 5 sunflowers. So let's do these questions together. Number 1 says, can you read with me? It says, how many, and I just drew a picture, so this is daisies. How many daisies are in the garden? Easy. We just talked about that. How many daisies are in the garden? Can you tell me? Louder. That's right, there are 6. Number 2, how many flowers are there all together? Oh, wow, is that an adding question or a subtracting? All together means you're adding, okay? So adding. So what is 6 plus 3 plus 5? Let me write that down. So 6, I'm going to write down small here, 6 plus, tulips are 3, plus 5. I'm not adding 2 numbers together. I'm adding 3 numbers together. Wow, what a tricky question. Okay, so let's break it down. I know 6 plus 5. I'm going to do that one first. Okay, I know 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 more is 11. What's 11 plus 3? So 11, 12, 13, 14. So my answer is 14. So how many flowers are there all together, boys and girls? There are 14 flowers all together. Okay. All right, number 3. How many more, these are sunflowers, are there than tulips? Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at the sunflowers. Let's take a look at the tulips. So how many more sunflowers are there? So this is the same amount, so we just add up these two. So how many more? There are 2 more. Okay, so another way we could do it is this is a takeaway. We can start with 5. So there's 5 sunflowers. And then how many tulips? 3. Okay, and what's the answer? 5. Take away 3 equals 2. So there are 2 more sunflowers than tulips in my garden. And number 4, this is a true or false. So remember, it's really important to understand fewer. So it's asking, are there fewer daisies than sunflowers? Does fewer mean more or less? It means less. Okay, so if I said, are there more daisies than sunflowers, that would be a completely different question. But I'm asking, are there fewer daisies than sunflowers? So are there fewer daisies than sunflowers, boys and girls? No, there are more. So that would be a false. So the answer to that would be false. So this week you have a few graphs in your math booklet that I would like you to complete. And I have sent Mom and Dad the pages that I'd like you to work on. And remember, I always like to see your work. Good luck. If you have any questions, you could always contact Mrs. Clark. So this week for our word family, we are going to talk about the est word family, est. So words that rhyme with est. Okay, so I'm going to start with my story. It says the pest in the nest. So what are the 2 s words there? Can you tell me? The pest and nest. So read it with me. The pest in the nest. All right, here we go. So remember, these are always quite silly books. Susie lived alone in a neat little nest. She was a very fine bird with a bright pink crest. And you can help me read this book. One fine day, Susie invited a guest, and her bird friend Stella flew in from the west. Stella wore sneakers and a polka dot vest. She had curly green feathers and a pretty blue crest. There it is. Oh, here it is. So that must be Stella. Susie thought Stella was simply the best. She didn't know Stella would be such a pest. Uh-oh. I think there's going to be a problem here. When Susie served salad and worms to her guest, Stella gobbled her snack and then finished the rest. Says, I hope you don't mind if I finish this. When Susie and Stella had a painting contest, that's a good S word, Stella splattered purple all over the nest. When Susie had to study for a math test, Stella decided to tap dance with zest. When Susie showed Stella her costume chest, so there it is, Stella scattered clothing north, east, south, and west. That means all over the place. Remember, we learned about our compass rose a couple weeks ago. When Susie lay down to take a short rest, Stella woke her right up by braiding her crest. Look at that. She doesn't look very happy with that. Stella, cried Susie, I have to protest. You've brought nothing but trouble into my nest. Stella the bird hid her beak in her vest. I'm so very sorry I was such a pest. I just got so excited because you are the best. Next, Susie said, Stella, you aren't a pest. You're a very fun friend. I think you're the best. When the visit was over, before Stella flew west, she hugged her pal Susie. She then hugged the nest. And there you go. So that was the story. So our est words, can you read these to me? This one says what? Starts with the B. B says but. They all end in est. So best. What's this one? T, t, test. CH says ch, ch, like a choo-choo train. Ch, chest. What's this one? QU says qua, qua, quest. What's this one up here? Starts with an R. What would that say? Rest. And then this one says nest. P says p, p, pest. With the V, vest, and west. So this week, I would like you to learn those words, okay? See if you can think of any other S words. There are 2 worksheets to work on, and you can also play fun games with S words. All right, boys and girls. So right now, I'd like you to take out this little booklet. It's called My Seed Reflection Journal. So take that out. You can color the boy and girl a little bit later. So last week, we planted a sunflower seed. Okay, and something we forgot to do is we were supposed to write about what the little pot looked like last week. So really, if you wanted to do that today, you could, but don't worry about it. But last week, really, what it looked like was just a little pot, and inside was soil, right? So today, I planted my seed. But don't worry about if we didn't do that part. But we are going to do this part. So the date, you will write today's date, which is June 8th, okay, June 8th. So you go ahead and write today's date at the top. And how long has it been since you planted your seed? So we planted it last Monday, so let's count. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. How many fingers am I holding up? 7. So it has been 7 days. So we're going to write 7 there. See that at the top? So it has been 7 days. And now you need to write about what you see. So get your pot that you planted your sunflower seed. What do you see? Do you want to see mine? Look at mine. What do you see? I see a stem and some leaves. So that's what I will write. So I see, this is really hard to write here. I see a stem and how many leaves do I see today? I actually see 2 big leaves and 2 little ones. So I'm going to write that down. So I see a stem and 2 big leaves and 2 small leaves. And period. Okay, so you're going to write, yours might look a little different than mine, and that's okay. You're going to observe it like a scientist and write down what you see. And then draw a picture, okay? So then Mrs. Clark would draw a picture of exactly this. Next week, we will do the same thing. So if you look next week, for week, I guess 3, how many days? And then what do we see? Because next week, we might see something more, right? So that is a reflection journal that we are going to write in once a week. Okay, so I want you to do that. Also, this week, we're going to learn about the life cycle of a plant. So in this booklet that went home, right at the beginning, it shows you the life cycle. Okay, but first I actually want to read you the pages of life cycle. So this starts on page 11, and at the top says the cycle of a plant. So I'm going to read it to you, but it'd be really good if you read it on your own, or if the language is too hard, the words are too hard, then get your mom or your sibling to read it to you. But I'm going to read it to you right now. So life cycle, here we go. A plant starts off as a simple seed. Some seeds are small and some seeds are big. This simple seed is placed into the ground and is given water, air, and sunlight. What comes next is simply magical. So our sunflower seed, do you think that was a large seed or a small seed? I think it was a pretty large seed. There's a lot smaller seeds than that, but there are also bigger seeds as well. Okay, what comes next? Ooh, there's that word, starts with the germination. Okay, so with the help of a little bit of water and sunlight, the seed starts to change. When a stem starts to grow from a seed, it's called germination. So you take a look there. So there's a seed. So when the stem starts to grow, that's called germination. Okay, so next, the plant grows and grows. It forms roots and a stem. So take a look at mine. Okay, so mine has a stem and it will likely have roots in the soil. So I think this is where my plant or my sunflower, this is the stage of the life cycle it's in, right here. All right, but let's carry on and read it. So the roots will stay inside the ground and will help the plant eat and stay healthy. The stem will come out of the ground and will enjoy the water and sunlight. This stem will soon grow into a big, healthy plant. So this little tiny stem that's really delicate is going to grow into a big, strong, healthy plant. Now that is pretty magical, I think. All right, so what comes next? Next come the leaves. The plant is now getting bigger and will soon be filled with big, beautiful leaves. Okay, next. Once the plant gets nice and strong, it starts to grow flowers. Every plant has a special kind of flower. Some plants have big flowers and some plants have small flowers. They are all special in their own way. So do we think our plant will have a big flower or small? We're going to find out, aren't we? Okay, what comes next? Oh, finally, the last step in the plant's life cycle is called pollination. And what is pollination? You all know, but let's review. When insects or birds eat food from a flower, they pick up pollen and transport it to another flower. This pollen then becomes a seed that will soon start the plant's life cycle all over again. Sometimes pollen is transported by the wind. So transported is a fancy word. It just means move. Okay, so it's moved. So that is the life cycle of a plant. So I'm going to show you this one in the inside. So it starts off as a seed, then it goes into a germination, okay, and that's when that stem starts growing, and then it goes to roots in a stem, and then the leaves start growing, and then the flowers, okay, and then it goes back to seeds. And then these flowers will turn into a fruit or will turn into a vegetable, okay? I wonder if it shows here. There we go. So what I want you to do this week, there on page, where did I put it? Oh, it's on the ground here. On page 29. I want you to read this. I know it's a lot of reading, so I'd like you to get a parent to help you or an older sibling. So I'd like you to read this, and it just goes through the life cycle. So it's just goes through what Mrs. Clark just said. And on the back, there are some comprehension questions that I'd like you to answer. So the first one is, to grow, a seed needs, well, that answer is going to be right in here, okay? We already know that answer, but the answers will be on this page. The second question says, when a stem starts to grow from a seed, it is called, what is it called? You know. But if you don't remember, just go back into the text, go back, and the answer will be there. The next question is, why is it important for a plant to have roots and a stem? Okay, so again, the answer will be there. The next question asks, are all flowers the same? What sentence in the passage tells you? So here it will talk about if all flowers are the same. And then finally, what does the word pollination mean? Whew, that's a really heavy question. I think you can do it. So down here, I see the word pollination. That's where I will find my answer. Okay, so this activity is a bit more difficult. So please get a sibling or get your parent to help you with that. But this next one, you will not need any help at all. You can do this one on your own. It's just a cut and paste. Okay, so here goes the life cycle of a plant. What I'd like you to do, you see those dotted lines, so cut that, cut out the pictures, and then place it in order. If you don't remember, well, there's your cheat sheet right there. So this one you can do independently, all by yourself. Okay, but the other activity, you will need a parent or a sibling to help you. Well, that's it for this week. Don't forget, there are also journal entries that you need to complete. So I'm asking that you do at least 2 this week. I've given mom and dad some topics if you don't know what to write about. But remember, those are just topics. If you want to write about something else, please do, as long as you're writing. So writing is really important. Again, Lexia, Lexia, Lexia. I was so happy to see that last week a lot of you completed your Lexia minutes. It made Mrs. Clark so happy because I know that your reading is improving when you're doing Lexia. If you're looking for more work, there's always IXL Math. Don't forget about IXL Math. There's a good handful of you that use that all the time. Remember to read, okay? So if you don't have books at home that you can read if they're too hard, get a sibling to read it to you or a parent. And remember, there's always Epic Books online where you can find a book that is just right for you. All right, grade ones, have a wonderful week, and we will see you again next week.